Greetings from the International Labour Organization and its Cooperatives unit, where we are commemorating the centenary of the establishment of the unit. And on this occasion, we have launched a series of interviews, ILO COOP 100 interviews, to talk with cooperative leaders and ILO constituents and partners from around the world. And today we are very happy to have with us Danilo Salerno, who is the Regional Director for ICA Americas. Welcome, Danilo.
Hello, hi Simel, hi to everyone.
Thank you for joining us. And so let us get started. If you could tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started working with cooperatives.
With cooperatives. Okay, nice question. So my background, my education background encompasses a master's degree in international relations and funding. Then I got a diploma, high formation diploma in Latin American studies, of course, and a bachelor degree in political science. I would say that my commitment with international cooperation for development / international cooperative development has always been underpinned by personal vocation in addition to professional responsibilities and experiences, I would say. Yes, I'm currently the regional director for Cooperatives of the Americas, which is one of the regional of the ICA. Formerly, I was director of Coppermundo, which is the NGO of Cooperative, a cooperative apex organization from Italy. And then before I had an experience with EURICSE, the European Research Institute on Cooperative and Social Enterprises. But going to the point, I think my experience and my commitment with the cooperatives started incidentally. I mean, I was at the end of the 90s, when I was a young student, I was volunteering with the fair trade movement. And then there, my task was to unpack all the goods coming from the global south. Mm-hmm. So in the warehouse, I was reading and experience all the where the goods were coming from. So I started learning about cooperatives, and this attracted my attention because all the declaration of value and principles, the business model, the possibilities for members to own the company and to take decision, to decide about the future, to take care of the environment, the community, and so on. So this is where my passion, I would say, and my personal commitment start from. And there, the motivation and the engagement of the people rose my attention, I would say, of the customs, of the customers, of the fair trade, the volunteers, the leaders, as well of the ambassadors. As my first work experience started with education for global development in a fair trade workshop. The name was Mandacaru, which is also the name of a cactus, a Mexican cactus able to resist to the scorching temperatures of the desert with just a little reserve of water, which is also a good symbol of resilience. One of the main let's say, futures of cooperatives, I would say, by the way. So I was working at Mandakaru. I was in charge for awareness raising on fair trade and campaigning and so on. And during the first year, I had the chance to meet with two people, two ambassadors, I would say, that came attracted my attention. The first was Rigoberta Menchú.
Wow.
Yes, she came to Italy to visit Italy in the north in order to raise awareness about the indigenous people and the possibility for them to assess the market, to take care of their human rights in a world sense, in a broader sense, and especially the possibility to assess the market and to produce in a sustainable way and to have a voice at global level. So she signed a declaration about the importance of cooperatives and the fair trade for indigenous people. And the other ambassador was a guy from Brazil. It's a very nice story and very funny as well. A guy from Brazil who was used to spend mainly the summers, I would say, at the Altro Mercato warehouse in Verona, the national warehouse of the fair trade movement, meeting people, helping our network of fair trade workshops, and trying to understand how the fair trade was working at Italian and European level. And then I discovered a couple of years ago, I would say, that that guy, when he became the president of Brazil, this guy was Lula.
Lula. Oh my God.
Yes.
The Brazilian volunteer for fair trade was
yes,
Lula.
very funny, yes. And
Wow.
that was my beginning, I would say, yes.
Excellent story. You work with Coppermundo, or you mentioned an Italian NGO that works on international development cooperation, but also more specifically cooperative development. Could you tell us about Coppermundo and what it does?
Yes, I worked 10 years in Coppermundo actually, and was very inspiring and invigorating, I would say, because during those years, we contributed to the discussion about the private sector for development, and at Italian, both at European and Italian level, and with the dialogue with the European Commission mainly, as well as with the Italian government, we contributed a lot for the recognition of cooperatives, like as an actor of international development. I remember very in a very nice way that we contributed to the reform of the new law of Italian law of international development cooperation, where cooperatives were recognized. And for me personally, was a very exciting to have to get the recognition of Coppermundo like an NGO of the entire cooperative movement at the Italian level, because in the past, let's say in a very conservative maybe way, the Italian government just recognized in the past, was used to recognize the very traditional NGO, while Coppermundo was and is an NGO of the cooperative movement, so whose members are both cooperative organization as well as enterprises. So it's a very first step and very first approach, I would say, for the participation of cooperatives to the Italian system of international development for international cooperation for development. It was amazing to give a contribution in this sense. And then, of course, we set up Coppermundo. We managed a lot of projects aiming to strengthen capacities, to set up new cooperatives in the global south, to strengthen capacity for market access, especially in the agriculture sector, fisheries, and work cooperatives as well. And we managed this project, and we were used to provide our members, the members of Coppermundo, technical assistance for partnership and fundraising at Italian and European level. And personal contribution also to the working groups that were in charge for the Italian development cooperation, the government, to draft the European communication on the NGOs under the civil society organization, as well as the conclusion of the Council, the European Council in 2014, and then another strong contribution to the Milan Expo 2015, where we played a very active role. Yes.
It makes sense, doesn't it, for Italian development cooperation to have cooperatives and wider social and solidarity economy model in the forefront of their strategy, because this is so strong in Italy itself. And for many countries, their development strategies are also based on encouraging similar models in replicating and similar models or adapting similar models elsewhere. So it seems to be very much common sense and indeed very important.
Yes, indeed. It was exciting. In fact, as the other actors and players of the Italian development cooperation recognized the importance of cooperatives, because we embody both the social, let's say, spirit of the traditional NGO from one side as Coppermundo, but at the same time we can manage the spirit of the private sector in engaging with international development cooperation. And for this, I think this was the reason in 2016 I was appointed chair of the working group at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, working group private sector for development. Yes, because our organization, the cooperative movement, represented I would say the good synthesis, the good mix of both the traditional approach to development cooperation and the private sector one. It was a very nice experience for me to chair this group, and very important for my professional career as well.
And during that time, you also were involved at the European regional level on Cooperatives for Development, this platform. Could you tell us a little bit about that, the international development work of cooperatives at the European level?
Yes, was part of the same strategy. We at the Italian level were giving our contribution to the Italian government, but at the same time, as a member of Cooperatives Europe, Cooperative and Coppermundo, helped with the creation of this working group, and I would say yes, platform that nowadays is called Cooperative Europe Development Platform, which at the very beginning in 2008 maybe, yes.
Oh, wow.
We started working with a few people, very good cooperators, I would say. Linda Shaw and Sarah
Mm,
Aldred from the
mm,
Cooperative College UK, Claudia Marcus and Andreas Kapper from the GRV, Elsa Brander from Cooperationen, and bringing together people and cooperative organization passionate for international development, and try to set up a platform, a working group, in order to exchange methodologies, good practices, and information,
mm,
basically, information about our respective cooperative development projects in the Global South. And it was very, very key, I would say, because this created the condition for the creation of for an agenda within the ICA, I would say, for the creation of a thematic committee of the board dedicated
mm,
to international development that
mm,
today is named International Cooperative Development Platform,
mm,
and to put international development at the center of the agenda, the SDGs, and to get this strong work with the European Commission, both for advocacy for cooperatives and social and solidarity comment, but mainly cooperatives, I would say, from one side, and on the other side, to get this grant, which was signed between the European Commission and the International Cooperative Alliance in 2016, in order to improve the capacity and the contribution of the ICA as a whole, and the ICA with its 4 region, to improve the capacity to give a contribution to the SDGs and the 2030 agenda. So yes, the commitment for cooperative development at European level was also important during those years.
Coming to your current job, since 2018 June, you have been the regional director for the International Cooperative Alliance Americas region. What are the priorities of ICA Americas, especially in the context of the challenges that are facing the world today and their implications for the region, from climate change to forced displacements, the pandemic, where unfortunately the Americas are now at the epicenter of this crisis. Could you tell us about ICA Americas and your views on how cooperatives can engage and respond to these challenges in the region?
Yeah, thank you. It's a very interesting question, indeed. The region I'm honored to lead it's very huge because it brings together the cooperative movement from Canada to Patagonia, and it's not it's a nice and amazing, a very vibrant, I would say, region. But the cooperative movement, there is a very huge heterogeneity, I would say, because you have the north very different from the south, and then the Caribbean area, and so on. Is not well. It's very common to say that America, and mainly Latin America, is the region with the broadest and deepest inequality of the world, and this is true. And maybe the major priority the board set up was to create and to strengthen this policy dialogue and advocacy work with intergovernmental organization in order to create the enabling environment for cooperative in all the country, in all the region. In fact, we are working with all the international organizations as well as the governments. In this sense, we signed an MOU with ECLAC, we are signing an MOU with ECLAC, another with the Organization of the American States, and we are positively and actively working with ILO and FIO regional offices in order to, to merge our programs and work for cooperatives. We recently approved the new strategic plan from which, yes, 2020-2023, so a 4-year new strategic plan. And we have 4 priorities. The first is to strengthen the cooperative identity. The second is to strengthen the movement and to increase the members at regional level and at domestic or national level as well. The third one is to strengthen the 6th principle and to improve cooperation among cooperatives and to provide market access, market opportunities for cooperative of the region. And the last one, which is very key and cross-cutting, I would say, but there is a specific mention for the SDGs. So we central all our new strategic plan on the SDGs and the cooperative contribution to the SDGs. And it was key. In fact, last year, 2019, we dedicated our regional conference to the SDGs and the cooperative contribution to the UN 2030 agenda. As regards the pandemic, we organized in remote working, like everyone, I would say, from March. And nowadays it was key because nowadays, as you said, the center of the pandemic is Latin America, maybe the Americas, both from the north and the Latin America side. But it's working because we are organizing. We find out a way to organize webinars, like everyone, to organize capacity development training for members, and to map all the initiatives taken at domestic level by cooperative in order to react to the crisis, to the pandemic, and to maybe reset the modus operandi and the way they offer their service into the market. Especially it was a very strong response, especially from the health sector, work sector, and agriculture sector, as well as financial cooperatives, I would say. Yes. An important measure and response was to send out a letter to the 23 head of states and prime ministers, as well as the ministers of labor of the countries where we have active members, expressing our concern about the risk of pandemic, the loss of jobs, and claiming that a permanent dialogue for a new economic model is needed. And we want to engage, we want to be one of the most important actor in order to set up this new economic model. With the organization of the American states, we are working mainly in order to set up projects to mitigate the migration flows. In this sense, we are leading a new project funded by the EU delegation in Costa Rica, but merging with a program that the Organization of the American States has in Costa Rica in order to improve migrant working condition during the coffee picking season, and to set up maybe new cooperatives, or at least to educate migrant workers about the concept, making them aware about the concept of decent job. And this, in this sense, to give a contribution to the work that ILO is doing, taking care of them and giving them the possibility to access all the social services during the coffee picking season in Costa Rica. On the other side, we are working with FIO on the side of agriculture and rural development and market access to improve the capacities of agricultural cooperatives to produce in a more sustainable way, maybe to use technologies to be more responsible and sustainable in this sense, and improve their capacity to assess the market at regional level as well as at global level. Try to create the condition for the cooperation amongst cooperative via triangular or South-South cooperation. And this is what we're doing. But our members at national level, they are leading a huge number of initiatives, very interesting. And with these initiatives, we are excited to contribute to the work that you are doing from the COP unit at ILO, and to improve and increase the visibility of cooperative response to the pandemic.
Excellent. You actually talked about the SDGs and the work that you're doing in the region around the SDGs on specific topics. I was wondering, you coming from also a fair trade movement and improving the share of cooperatives in trade, in international trade, and as linked to Principle 6 on cooperation among cooperatives. What do you think about the idea of the possibility to realize, activate this notion of co-op to co-op trade, direct, from producer cooperatives to and worker cooperatives to consumer cooperatives? Do you think this has is this a viable notion, for instance, in the Americas, where you have a lot of the producers and workers co-ops in the South and so many consumer cooperatives in the north of the region, for instance?
Yeah, this is a priority for us, and that's why we put a specific work stream into our new strategic plan. And indeed, there are a lot of potential. There is a lot of potential work to do in the Americas. As you mentioned, we have agricultural cooperatives quite strong, but consumer cooperatives as well, very strong in the South. while the North, the United States, as well as Canada, represent for them immense market opportunity in this sense. But my mind is that we should take advantage of being a global network. I see the possibilities to make COP to COP exchange and business opportunities amongst the regions. You know, and this is a priority for the Americas, for my region. But I think it's becoming a priority for all the regions of the ICA. We, as regional directors, are working in this sense. I have good exchange, I have to say, with my colleagues from Asia Pacific, Balu, from Africa, Sifa, and from Europe, Agnes. And then there is the ICET, the International Cooperative Entrepreneurial Think Tank, that could create an environment for strengthening this dimension, and this ICET is chaired by a very real a good cooperator like Tarun from IFCO India. So I think it is a priority, and this what we should work stronger, maybe, because this is what our members are asking to our organization and regional offices, mainly. Yeah. And you, the international organization, should help us, and if I could say, and yes, help us and create a partnership for improve our capacity to do this, because we can have the technical expertise and the sectoral expertise in this sense, but maybe we should improve the capacity to stand into the market in a permanent way, you know, which means standards, rules, capacity to set up service centers, and very specific expertise to provide a service.
I think a lot of it is happening under that larger rubric of SDG 12 and strengthening the role of cooperatives in value global supply chains, but more maybe at the micro level, at specific supply chains like coffee or cotton, and in specific countries or regions. But to think of the bigger picture and and building capacities of cooperatives and their federations, organizations to do this, that would be a great project idea.
Yes, indeed.
Let's keep talking about it.
Yes.
And moving forward on it. In your region, the wider social and solidarity economy is quite prominent. And as ICA Americas, do you consider cooperatives a part of that wider economy, social and solidarity economy? What is the relationship between this wider framework and the cooperative model in the Americas?
There is a very interesting discussion and debate in this sense, because you have countries, especially from the South, where social and solidarity economy is naturally grounded and related with cooperatives, while you have other countries where the cooperative movement is an actor apart from social solidarity economy. But I have to say and to recognize, we have the discussion very frank from a very long time. In fact, I remember the fifth Cooperative Summit of the Americas in 2018 in Buenos Aires. We had Pedreño in a panel speaking about social and solidarity economy. And nowadays we see the importance of the work that Pedreño is doing in partnership with our ICA president and other I would say senior staff and management at global level.
Just to specify, Jose Antonio Pedreño is the president of Social Economy Europe. But also CEPES in Spain.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Simon. Then last year during the regional conference of Cooperatives of the America, we had the High Commissioner for Social and Solidarity Economy of France joining the conference and establishing these links with the cooperative movement of the Americas. So there is a vibrant discussion, I would say, and maybe a natural movement in considering the cooperative as part of a broader family like the one of social and solidarity economy. So we recognize this importance and the importance of contributing also to the discussion that ILO is leading at the global level together with the other actors and amongst these actors, the ICA, the International Cooperative Alliance.
Yeah, you mentioned the UN Interagency Task Force on Social and Solidarity Economy. There's also COPAC, no, the Committee on the Promotion and Advancement of Cooperatives. What do you think is the role of these UN agencies in general, but the ILO in particular, with respect to cooperative development? You have given quite a few examples, but perhaps some additional thoughts. Since 2012, which was the UN International Year of Cooperatives, there is, of course, the ILO recommendation 193 on promotion of cooperatives, but what else? These committees, interagency committees, but if you could share some of your thoughts on that.
You know, I'm passionate of multilateralism and I think that SDG 17 partnership is I mean, at least for me, from my personal point of view, is the most important one. So that partnership with the UN agencies is key in this sense, crucial, I would say. And ILO and your unit, the ILO COOP unit, always supported the cooperative development strongly. And in fact, and the fact that you are celebrating 100th the anniversary is the testimony of the broad vision that the ILO leaders had at the very beginning. COPAC importance is key. COPAC is crucial for me, as well as the UN Interagency Task Force on Social and Solidarity Economy, because we have it's important to provide and to produce evidences of the work that cooperatives do worldwide at a domestic level, a regional level, and at global level. Without these evidences, we are not able to set up this dialogue with governments at domestic level and to be recognized as a key actor for international development and for the SDGs. So really, again, it's key, it's crucial, and very welcome, and very pleasure to work with the UN agencies at global, at regional level, to partner with you and other intergovernmental organization from the Americas, in the Americas region, in order to strengthen this common work and the common passion we have.
Thank you, Danilo. An Italian cooperator, passionate about international development cooperation and cooperative development for sustainable development, and leading the ICA work in the Americas region. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and until we meet again in post-pandemic days.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for the important work you are doing. Thank you very much.
Same here. The feeling is mutual. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye-bye.